You never know, that might be, oh God, everything's still on. I forgot to mute all my stuff. Do apologise. Afternoon everybody, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining us today on the live stream. This is the kind of pre-show to AMD's product launch, which is going to be happening in approximately half an hour or so. So I thought what I'd do is do a quick stream beforehand. We'll go through the stream. I'll do some commentary in it as well. I'll be taking a look at your comments in the comment section, all that kind of good stuff. And we can discuss after what your thoughts are, what your plans are, what upgrades you're going to make, or maybe you're not going to make any upgrades depending on how things go. I think from what we've seen already released in the press and some of the snippets we've had, this should be pretty darn good from AMD. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we all should be pretty pleased by the time this stream is finished. Well, at least the AMD part of it anyway. My part of it may not be quite as good, but we'll see how it goes. Really, really nice to see a load of you in the chat already and having your own discussions as well. And nice to see a little bit of banter between the AMD and the Intel boys and girls. So let's keep that up. Let's keep the rivalry going, because ultimately it can only mean one thing, and that is better prices for all of us. Well, at least we would hope. So I'll see a quick few hellos to those of you in the chat, and unfortunately there's quite a few of you, so this may take a while, but I'll try not to miss anyone. So we've got Thug Gamer in, Cody, Ricardo, Mr. Donut Zero, Ghost Adder, Paul Bakewell, Skystalker, Tactical Neep. Who else have we got? Scroll down through. ClickTech Kev. Who else is there? There should be an easier way of doing this, there really should be. Now actually, before we go too far into this, I have put a straw poll up, so I'll try and get Kath to put the link in the comments. Yeah, that's right. I'll try and get Kath to put the link in the comment section so you can put your vote. And what I thought we'd do, what would be quite interesting, is if we all make our kind of decisions now on the straw poll, we'll take a look at it before the stream starts, and then at the very end we'll take another look and see who of us was right, what has come true, what has come to fruition. And I can see already, crazily, the AMD stream at the moment, there are 46,000 people waiting, and their video, even though it hasn't even started, has got 15k likes already. So yeah, this looks like it could be a good one. Hopefully it will be. And for me, as a person who's already invested some money in some motherboards, ready for these new processors, yeah, it better be a good one. It does look like it is going to be that way. British Noob says, are we all looking forward to this stream? Well, I for one certainly am. I am very much looking forward to this. I think this is going to be, yeah, this is going to be the one we've been waiting for, possibly. And here we go, the laptop's slowing down to a halt already. Who else have we got in there? Dave Burns says, hi Mike. Nice to see a lot of our Discord crew in, and for those of you that are new to the channel as well, if you've never been to Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, well, it's probably for the best. We will suck away all of the lifeblood of your wallet, and with all these crazy deals, and especially on our Discord, if you go over there, Seam at Night is posting some crazy deals pretty much every single day. So if you want to save money on your tech, or you just want to learn how to do things in a relatively straightforward and easy to understand manner, then you come to the right place. And if you haven't subscribed already, do me a favor, click on that subscribe button. It's down there somewhere. Just have a look. It's around there somewhere. Click on that one and the chime icon and all that kind of usual good stuff. Also, while you're down in that general direction, stick a like on the video. Even if you don't, just do it anyway, because it helps the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget, you can always come back to this video after if you want to recap on anything, if you want to actually rewatch the AMD stream, you can do. And you can put your comments, and I will be answering your comments as time goes on as well. So there is that out of the way. Who else we've got? So Bearded Prince says, hi Kath. Kath's over there in the corner. Not that you should ever put a baby in the corner. A little bit of a 80s reference there, but there you go. So if you've got anything to say to either me or Kath, feel free to let us know in the comments section. Whilst the stream is actually going on, the actual main AMD stream, I will try and keep as quiet as possible. If I feel there's anything that I do need to kind of say or interrupt with, then I will do. Or if there's something I disagree with or I'm disappointed with, obviously that is the whole point of this video. It's a reaction video to some extent, but it's also a discussion, so I will be adding those things in. Also, I'll be keeping an eye on the comments as well, so if you say something in the comments whilst the stream is going on, I will try and relay that as well and take note of it. So this isn't a one-way thing. There will be many instances, and you will probably get a little bit overloaded with information from both the chat, the stream, and myself. But again, it's all going to be a bit of fun. We're going to enjoy it. It's going to be great. We're going to hopefully see some really good prices and get ready for our upgrades in the upcoming months. For me personally, I think this is possibly one of the worst possible times for this announcement, depending on whether or not we're going to get a processor straight away or whether we're going to have to wait maybe a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month. I'm hoping that isn't the case. I would really, really love for them to say in the stream, okay, and if you go over to your favorite Amazon site or whatever after, then you'll be able to place your pre-order. That would be absolutely amazing. But realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. I would estimate, I haven't got anything to go on with this, so this is purely speculation, but I would estimate that these will be available probably October 20th maybe. That is some of the kind of inklings we've heard around the industry, etc. So realistically, kind of 2 weeks from today is about where I'm looking. That would be enough time for reviewers to get their samples, etc. All those kind of usual things. So today's, it's going to be a pretty decent day. And actually, it has two things going on today. Got an AMD stream, and also today it is my mum's birthday. So happy birthday, mum. Hope you're having a great one if you're watching. Not that she's very tech-minded, but you never know. So if you want to wish my mum a happy birthday in the chat, please feel free to do so, and I will pass those on. She probably won't understand what's going on, but you know. Wow. The AMD stream is up to 50k watching at the moment. And it doesn't start for another 20 minutes. There is certainly a lot of hype here, it really is. Billy K says inside info from Mike. I have actually been, there's a couple of people that do email me outside of the whole YouTube thing, people that I've had contact with, both in kind of distribution and all that kind of stuff. And there's a couple of people that we've met through the channel and also from the Discord who are kind of, they've got their ears to the ground and they know some of the things which are going on in the industry, so especially in the UK specifically. So October the 20th, I think, is realistically what we're looking at for these new processors. I would love for it to be less than that. I would love to say they'll be available as of Monday morning, but I don't think that's realistic. The YouTube community hasn't received samples, at least as far as we know at the moment, so I don't think that is likely. Also as well, I think there needs to be a little bit of a gap, let all the information digest, and then allow retailers to make the necessary adjustments to exist in stock, reduce prices or clear some inventory. I think that would be the sensible thing to do. AMD doesn't really want to piss off the supply chain, if at all possible. They're not going to hopefully do an nvidia and say, right, this is what's coming out and all of your old stuff is now obsolete and overpriced and this is coming out next week. They are unlikely to do that. At least we hope they're not going to do that. It does raise the question though, specifically, what is going to happen with the pricing of existing stock? So for those of you out there at the moment are potentially looking at building a PC in the next week, month, towards Christmas time, a lot of us are in that position. A lot of the guys on the Discord going through PC Part Picker, making suggestions, saying, do you think this is good? Do you think this is bad? And for the last, God knows how many weeks, all we've been saying is, okay, that's a good placeholder, but we've got this AMD launch going on. We don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with pricing. The processors may, on paper, sound extremely good, but we may not see those actual results come to fruition in testing and in real world use. So until we've actually got some processors on hand in systems, on hand.
No, you said until.
Until? Intel. Yeah. No Intel today. Not Intel. Until we've got the processors on hand, we've tested them, we don't know what is going to go on. So even after today's launch, don't make any permanent decisions until we've seen the reviews from multiple sources. That is generally the thing that you should always do, if at all possible. Never jump in head first, unless you've got money to waste or money to burn, or you kind of got money put aside and you're like, well, what the hell? I need a processor. This is what I've set my mind on. This is what I really want. If it doesn't perform quite as well as expected, well, it's no big loss. Absolutely fine. For me personally, I am, most of you don't know me by now, I am a total skinflint. So if anything, I try and save money wherever I can and get best value for money. So me personally, I'm looking at those Ryzen 3s, Ryzen 5s, maybe Ryzen 7s if they're come down to such a price point where the extra cores and the kind of the extra, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the cores and the threads, you know, that extra workload power is actually justifiable. For the last releases I've gone by, and the Ryzen 5 3600 has been absolutely fine for me. That was an upgrade from the Ryzen 7 1700X, and it was pretty much comparable in most tasks. Some things, video editing, it wasn't as good. In normal everyday tasks, it was much faster and did seem very snappy. So it'll be interesting to see what is going to be able to replace the Ryzen 5 3600. For a lot of people, that has been the go-to chip for the last, well, 6 months or more at least. It has been the #1 seller on Amazon for a very long time, and a lot of places have actually been sold out for quite a while as well. So the Ryzen 5 3600 is really AMD and Intel's kind of main fighting ground. That is where the majority of people are kind of positioned at that mid-range. The lower end stuff does serve a place in the market and does sell like hotcakes. Look at the 3300X. That came out at a really good price and was basically out of stock pretty much everywhere. And even now it is still, in a lot of places, still unavailable. Although I did notice yesterday, Amazon and a couple of other places do actually have them on hand for sale at relatively reasonable prices, which, bearing in mind what is happening today, in the next 15 minutes, then yeah, people are wanting to clear that inventory. So also people are holding back. We've noticed ourselves personally with our Amazon affiliate links, a lot of the sales have dropped off, especially in the PC market space. Processors, RAM has actually improved, hard drives have improved, motherboards, processors definitely seen a drop off almost to almost non-existent levels. So you can see what is going on. People are holding back, waiting for this announcement, which it's weird actually. For the last, well, few months, I've been really waiting for this day, really excited. But now when I'm 15 minutes away from it actually happening, I've got that kind of knot in my stomach. I'm thinking, is this actually going to be what I want it to be? I don't know whether we all get like this. I know with some of the nvidia launches, it's like, oh yeah, we're really hyped up. You see all the presentation and you're like, oh yeah, that looks amazing. And then after it kind of falls flat, there's no stock, or the prices are way high, or it doesn't perform as intended or as we kind of wanted it to perform. So yeah, I'm just hoping that isn't the case today. 14 minutes till the AMD premiere. We are counting down. And also we're counting down to 40k subs as well. We are a gnat's whisker away from 40k subs at the moment. So again, if you are new here and you've, just click on the sub button. Let's just push ourselves over that 40k. We need 10 more subs. So come on, click that sub button, click on the join button, get us over that, get us to that 40k. It's actually pretty phenomenal. I can't believe we got to 40k in a relatively short amount of time. But hard work from Kath, hard work from me, and a little bit of luck with the YouTube algorithm.
And thanks to all you.
Oh yeah, and of course, thanks to all of you that are regular viewers. Some of you that have been around from the start. Obviously people, British Noob, Sky Stalker, Aletta, Welsh Tony, many others. That's just some of the ones I can think of. Clicked at Kev as well. Kev's off to make 10 fake accounts. Don't do that. That's bad. Don't do it. But yeah, thanks to all of you that have been around from the beginning. Hopefully it's been worth it. 13 minutes to go. Now hopefully I've got my audio levels right. I've got my headphones ready. Unfortunately they are MSI ones, so don't click the dislike button for that. Unfortunately, this is the only ones I've got actually, which do have a separate volume control, so I could try and get the volume levels right. When we do start the stream, obviously if there is any problems with the audio, please do let us know in the chat and we'll try and adjust it so that either I'm not overpowering or it's not too loud, too quiet, all that kind of stuff. I've got it all set up here ready to go, so again, yeah, if there is any issues, please do let us know. I'd hate for it to be a poor quality stream, and a lot of you are really excited to see what is going on and you want to hear what Lisa Sue says. So yeah, if there's any issues with the sound quality or whatever, please do let us know in the chat and we will make any adjustments that are necessary.
Just do a quick test and you know it's not a problem when you start.
Do a quick test. I would love to do a quick test, but unfortunately, because Lisa Sue isn't saying anything at the moment, I can't see if the levels are correct. Wonder if I could do something else.
Karaoke?
Karaoke. Tell you what, I'll get another AMD video open and we'll try it.
Sweet Caroline.
YouTube, if I could spell it. I am actually a bit nervous for this, I really am. Nervous, excited, and all of the above. So AMD, there we go. I don't want that one. Right, here is get the most out of AMD Link. So let's give this a trial. Full screen. Oh God. Let's pause that there. And if I press, what number is it? It's that one there. Windows desk with G7. There we go. And if I click on play, hopefully I should be able to hear that. Yep, I can hear it. How's the volume for you guys? Is that acceptable? It's a bit loud, is it? Oh, that's way too loud. How's that work? It's a bit loud. How's that? Are we okay? Or am I too loud, or is the desktop audio too loud? There, better. Bit lower. Bit lower for the desktop. How's that? Am I okay now? Boomer mic trying to figure out tech, yeah. My mic is too quiet. Yeah. Mic is too quiet. I can figure that out, I think. Lower.
Doesn't help with the lag.
Okay, mic's unboxing. Oh, I don't want to put a YouTube video on, do I? Let's go back to number 2.
Oh no. Did your game just get interrupted by an update? It's switching time to a Chromebook. Now back to it. Switch to updates without interruption.
Okay, mic too quiet, video too loud. Okay, so video too loud. How can I do that? Let's turn that down a little bit for a desktop audio. And we'll pump up my mic a little bit. There we go. We'll see how that goes. That should be a bit better. Ghost Seller says, guess Mike doesn't use AdBlock. No.
We support YouTubers.
We support YouTubers and content creators. Well, most of them. There's a few that we don't want to support, but you have no choice. Glenn says, all good now. Awesome.
Steve says, play something on iPlayer.
Steve Johnson says, play something on iPlayer. Now that is a kind of like an in-joke, because today we've officially cancelled our BBC licence for our television. Saved our £155 a year, so no longer will be paying for the BBC content.
We don't watch anyway.
Yeah, that we don't watch. Our terrestrial aerial for our TV is knackered anyway, so there's yeah.
So we saved 150 on the license and however much it would cost to get the aerial repaired anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Thug Tech Gamer says we are close to 40k. We're not too far, and we're only 8 minutes away from the premiere. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. So let's have a quick look to see what you guys and girls are looking for on the straw poll. If you haven't already voted, now's your chance. And if I go into, where are we? Windows Desk with G7, that should do the trick. There we go. There's me. I'm up in the top corner, or wherever. So what are you expecting from the AMD Ryzen launch? And actually, it's a very, very mixed bag. So currently on 23% is similar range with similar prices, which, to be honest with you, that is pretty much what I'm expecting. Very similar range. Most of the processors staying within their kind of traditional families. So Ryzen 3, 4-core, 8-thread, Ryzen 5, 6, maybe 8 cores at a push. Ryzen 7, 8-core, maybe a 10-core, who knows. I think that is realistic. It's going to be Ryzen 9, 16-core, or maybe 8-core, 10-core, 12-core. Who knows? It's going to be exciting to find out. Next up was the, well actually that's getting 26%, so let's get it up a little bit. More cores per range is also one which has been voted on quite a lot, which is actually kind of almost goes into what I said previously. So it would be really nice to see the Ryzen 3s maybe go into a 6-core. I don't think that's very likely at all. Maybe if there's like a 5100, which would be a 4-core 8-thread, and maybe a 5300X, which would be a 6-core 12-thread. I don't see that would be that bad a thing, but then it depends what is in the mid-range for the Ryzen 5s. Obviously then that would need to be jacked up a little bit to an 8-core. It could make things very, very awkward. AMD have specifically come out this time and said that they want to make it called the 5000 range, or at least that's what we're expecting. And the reason for that is to give the product their segments, whereas before it was a little bit confusing. So you had your like 2000 series GPUs, APUs, and then you had the 2000 series desktop chips, which were completely different versions. It was, yeah, it was very messy. So hopefully this is going to clear that up, but we will see. Where are we? Number 2. So let's get back to here and let's see how long we've got. Premiere in 5 minutes. And currently 78,000 people are waiting for the AMD live stream, which actually I don't think is that many. I was expecting to see more than that, if I'm completely honest with you. And they are, yeah, we got 73 viewers and they've got 77,000. So yeah, we're not far off. Close. ClickTech Kev says, I think you should turn off ads and ask people for gift cards. Do I look like Kerry Holzman? A little bit naughty there, but you know what I mean. Steve John says, you are still better. Oh, bless you. British Noob says, where gaming begins is their title. They only just caught up to Intel gaming-wise then. That is quite likely. If we're looking at a potential 15% uptick or increase in instructions per clock or IPC for these new chips, that will take them past Intel for gaming and for general consumption use. So maybe that is why they've done it. That is, when I saw the title actually, I did think it was a little bit odd. Well, not odd, but a little bit different. 4 minutes to go.
How many watching now?
81, they've got 81,000, we've got 73. Not, or 75. Muckless is in the house, and Dave Bell says the UK Kerry. I don't know whether to be to like that or not. So 4 minutes to go. This is nerve-wracking, it generally is. Jay Rich says, to help the stream, please click on the like. Thank you very much, appreciate all that. Yeah, I wonder how many people that are actually waiting to watch this AMD stream. I wonder how many of them are actually Intel staff who are thinking, oh crap, here we go, we're going to get annihilated. I wonder how many of them are actually from nvidia or possibly ARM technology. Because ARM is kind of heading into the processor market space for desktops, transitioning from phones, so who knows?
Do a countdown.
A countdown for 3 minutes? I can't count that high. I only got 10 fingers.
And 10 toes.
And 10 toes, yeah. Glenn says, Inter CCX latency is where we need to see the improvement. Currently Intel is 2 times faster in that department. I think that is likely, I think that is likely to happen. Premieres in 3 minutes. Antonio says, hello from Croatia. AMD stock is barely affected. Okay. 2 minutes to go. Exciting. 92,000 people waiting. We've got 77. Oh dear. It's nice to have a nice little community. It's easier to manage and say hello to people. The chat is off the hook on the AMD thing. Literally, you could type in anything, you'd never see it. It's just like, brrr. Rip chat window, someone just said, I think. Premieres in 2 minutes. Bill Taylor says, happy birthday, Mum. Nick Dumbleton says, hello from Cornwall. Hello, Cornwall. My daughter nearly drowned in Cornwall very recently. Kids, who'd have them? Right, Premiere in 2 minutes. We've got it's almost Premiere in 60 seconds. So this is probably a good time. We'll switch over now and we'll go over to the Premiere so we don't miss any. So yeah, enjoy.
Does Lisa Sue know all the names of her viewers?
No, Lisa Sue doesn't know the names of all her viewers, I wouldn't have thought. Right, so how do I make this full screen? Oh, why won't it go full screen?
Was it dates? Names? No. Come on.
Right, let's refresh that page. This is where the internet crashes because AMD have done something. AMD have done a thing. Oh, come on. Right, let's go into it and we'll, yeah, let's see how it goes. And there we go. I'll leave the chat on the side. Their Premiere will begin shortly. Hopefully you can all still hear me okay?
No.
No?
Can't hear that.
Oh. There's no volume on it, that's why. Why won't it let me do it full screen? I hate computers. British News says light mode. Ugh. Sounds good. We can't hear you, smiley face. Thanks for that, Angry Doge. Why won't it go full screen now? I hate computers. Will I ever mention that? Report. Come on, Premiere will begin shortly. Come on, Lisa. Get your leather jacket on. Let's hear what you got to say. Press F key for full screen. Let's try that. Yeah, that's worked. Eventually. There we go. Come on. Ugly Bob says, looking good with your Superstar DJ headset on. RGB headset. Let's not forget. Oh dear. Somebody wants to contact me from China about my YouTube channel, apparently. Maybe it's Lisa. I don't know where she is. Here we go. Yet another countdown. What is it with this life? Countdowns everywhere. Loud. Yeah. How's the volume now, everybody? Is it good? Ugly Bob, yeah, another better, Gator says. Okay. If the volume's off, just let me know in the chat. I will be keeping an eye on it. Hopefully, yeah, YouTube, yeah, actually, yeah, the YouTube live countdown thing is always a bit louder, actually. Yeah, that is a good point. Ugly Bob says, what? I can't hear ya. Shut up. Come on, let's have the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's AMD time, everybody. Or it would be if... Come on, girl, where are you at? Oh, there she is. I've got to drink this tea quickly because I need a beer.
We started Zen from scratch, starting with a clean sheet of paper.
Zen turned out to be a grounds-up design, which doesn't come along very often.
Volume
In the
up,
life
or is it
of an
good?
engineer, you get to build something this significant once, twice, if you're lucky, 3 times in your lifetime. AMD enables the engineers to go off and innovate and to bring to market what it is that they dream about.
I'm extremely pleased to show you for the first time the name of our new CPU.
Don't touch anything.
Now it's time for you to see Ryzen in action. We wanted to disrupt the PC market. We wanted to bring innovation, choice, and performance to as many people as possible. In high-performance
Hi, Hassan.
PCs, it was about delivering more performance at every single price point.
The Ryzen Threadripper acknowledges that there are people who want to create and game on the same PC and need the scalability and need the performance to do that, and that's what's really exciting about the Threadripper chip.
It was our commitment to our customers that we would deliver to the roadmap that we set out, and momentum is now on our side.
The anticipation around 3rd Gen Ryzen is really impressive. Meet the world's first 16-core gaming processor.
Woohoo!
Now, in 2019, 3rd Gen Ryzen's it.
What we did in Zen was push well beyond what we thought we could do. It
Lag.
makes me so proud to be able to look back and say that I was part of that.
Our mission with Ryzen has always been clear. It's about making the right bets 3 to 5 years in advance and making sure that they come to fruition. Our goal is to give you the best.
Not empty boxes.
Welcome, everyone. Big welcome to all of you, and thank you all for joining us today. I've been looking forward to this moment all year, and I know many of you have too.
Yep.
It's been a challenging year for everyone as we've navigated the COVID-19 pandemic globally. But one thing we've learned is just how important high-performance computing technologies really are. From work, to school, to gaming, to entertainment, the PC is now the computing platform of choice in 2020. And I'm really excited to show you today what we have been working on for the next-gen PC platforms, and especially for all of you gamers. Now, it's already been an incredible year for gamers. There's so much excitement around the next-gen consoles. We are so proud to power the new Sony PlayStation 5 with a high-performance custom chip featuring our AMD Ryzen CPU and AMD Radeon GPU technology. And we are equally proud that custom AMD processors also power the new Microsoft Xbox Series X and Series S consoles, again featuring our high-performance Ryzen and Radeon technologies. These consoles are bringing just incredible technology to gamers all over the world.
Volume okay?
And are really a result of just deep engineering partnerships over many, many years with both Sony and Microsoft. Now, gaming is at the heart of so much of what we do at AMD. Whether you're talking about PCs or consoles or cloud gaming and mobile. AMD loves gaming, and we like to say gaming begins with AMD. So today, we're going to talk specifically about our next-gen PC gaming platform. So let's talk a little bit about Ryzen. Now, you guys know we brought the first generation of Ryzen to market in 2017. And we actually had one goal. It was to build the best PC desktop processor possible. Now, we knew we wouldn't get there in one step, but with each generation of Ryzen, it's gotten better. And we focused on how do we deliver more performance? How do we deliver the best features? And how do we give more capabilities to all of you PC enthusiasts so that you can do more than you ever thought with your desktop or in your notebook? And we've made great, great progress. We started with Ryzen in desktops, and then we introduced Ryzen Threadripper in high-end desktops. And now, actually, Ryzen is in many amazing notebook systems with our Ryzen 4000
I did
series.
a little bit.
I think it's safe to say that AMD loves the PC. And I think also it's safe to say that PC users love Ryzen. So we really appreciate that.
We love Ryzen,
Now
don't
look,
we?
let's just focus on the desktop for a few minutes. The progress we have made over the last few years has been really amazing. If you look at the market before Ryzen, the desktop PC was on sort of an incremental performance slope for the last many years. Now,
Your shoes
over
are
the past
nice.
3 years, we've significantly changed that trajectory and really completely reset expectations as we've gone from 1st Gen Ryzen to 2nd Gen, now to 3rd Gen Ryzen. We were the first to launch a 7nm desktop processor, and today, 3rd Gen Ryzen leads in so many areas. We're the highest in multi-threaded performance. we are the best in terms of power efficiency. And 3rd Gen Ryzen is an absolutely great gaming processor. But as
Thanks,
you
Bob.
know, we're really ambitious. So our work with Ryzen is never done. Our engineers have been on this maniacal focus of what can we do more? What can we do better? So today, we're here to talk about our brand new CPU core. You've all been waiting for it. It's all about Zen 3.
Zen 3.
With Zen 3, we focused again on bringing the best to the PC market. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished. Zen 3 increases our lead in overall performance. It increases our lead in power efficiency. And also now, it delivers the best single-threaded performance and gaming performance as well.
Yes.
We've made massive
That's what we're
changes
waiting
to the
for.
core architecture, and I'm sure all of you want to know what's inside Zen 3. So let me hand it over to AMD CTO Mark Papermaster to give you all the details. Mark?
Well, thank you, Lisa. I couldn't be more excited than to share a little bit more
Cinematic.
about Zen 3 and our progression to get here. It's been quite a journey. We set a course over 5 years ago to design a family of high-performance x86 CPUs. Our goal, very simply, outright leadership. We set up the team so that development of multiple processor generations could be done in parallel, with designers leapfrogging from one generation to another. This has resulted in consistent delivery to the market as promised. I could not be more proud than to help unveil our 3rd generation of Zen Core debuting in Ryzen desktops this fall. It is a beast in performance and will deliver absolute leadership in the x86 market. Zen brought us back into high performance with a 52% improvement in instruction per clock in a single generation. It built a strong base for us to build upon as we developed the Zen family. Last year, Zen 2 brought double-digit % increase in instruction per clock and debuted 7 nanometer in chiplet technology. That 7 nanometer efficiency enabled leadership, multi-core performance, and core density. The innovative chiplet implementation allowed us ease of manufacturing with the small 7 nanometer die and scalability to leadership core counts. And now Zen 3. Wow, what a great job by the design team to improve every aspect of the CPU, delivering leadership performance in that same 7 nanometer node. Higher
But
frequency,
has it increased
higher
prices?
instruction per clock, with design improvements across all of the CPU components, and lower latency on top of that. You look at some of the key elements. There's a new layout of our processor that brings all the cores onto a unified 8-core complex. And that accelerates core-to-core communication. That's especially
So there's the improved
helpful for
CCXs?
gaming workloads. That consolidation actually allows every core to directly access the 32 megabytes of L3 cache. And that dramatically accelerates workloads that are latency sensitive, like gaming. And finally, significant changes throughout the Zen 3 architecture, generating a 19% instruction per clock uplift. That's on top of the significant gains that we had just in the mid of last year.
19%, that's pretty decent.
Altogether, Zen 3 is our most significant architectural update yet across the Zen family. We made the Zen 3 floating point and integer execution units wider, more flexible, and allows us to deliver more execution capability to the user at a lower latency. We've increased the number of loads and stores that we can do versus Zen 2, helping us feed those wider execution capabilities of Zen 3. We've added more branch prediction bandwidth. It allows Zen 3 to tackle back-to-back predictions much more quickly, reducing the delays. We call it zero bubble. These innovations keep Zen 3 ahead of the industry norm on generational improvements and position Zen 3-based Ryzen to be a clear desktop performance leader. Microprocessor performance engineering never has one single bullet. It takes focused microprocessor engineering. It's a broad set of improvements that are needed to make a great architecture. It takes innovation on all of the key levers. Zen 3 is a total front-to-back redesign. The microarchitecture had laser focus on performance on every element. End-to-end improvements, caching, load store, our execution units, our prefetching, our dispatch, our decode. Zen 2, in fact, had been organized with 2 4-core cache complexes, and it was tightly integrated. That was a very good design, but what we found is that we brought that together
Very
into that
interesting design.
single unified cache core complex, that we brought that direct access to 32 megabytes of L3 cache rather than the 16 megabytes that we have with Zen 2. That direct access to a cache pool of this size is very significant for gaming. They tend to make frequent use, of course, of the memory subsystem, and in fact, many games have a dominant thread. And that makes especially heavy use of the cache. I wish I could. And that thread now sees effectively twice the L3 cache in Zen 3. So every core can now communicate directly to the cache without traversing across the die. And that reduces latency. And it stays synchronized for applications using AI, audio, physics, and more. You can see that we continue our relentless commitment to energy efficiency with every generation. We're always honing our design methodologies to focus on performance per watt, even as we make the processors faster for gamers.
What's that say behind him?
Zen 3 is no different, delivering up to 24% improvement in power efficiency versus the prior generation. That's double-digit performance per watt uplift in the same process node. And that's on top of all the architectural changes that we drove in to drive up the performance. Our commitment to energy efficiency across time has put us in the driver's seat. Today, we're more than 2.8x more efficient than competing high-end desktop processors. And that's only a strengthening of the leadership that we demonstrated during the prior Zen 2 era.
So the top-end CPUs are likely to still be 95 or 105 watts.
On execution.
Estimate.
Zen 3 is shipping as promised. In the 5-nanometer Zen 4, on track, in design. The AMD team is hitting on all cylinders, and there's no shortage of innovations for the next generation of Zen processors to keep AMD in the forefront and deliver the best compute experience for our customers. Thank you. And let me welcome back Lisa to now show off our Zen 3 and new Ryzen processors.
Come on. We don't care. We just want to see games.
Thank you, Mark. That was
and
great.
prices.
I'm so proud of what the team has accomplished with Zen 3. We really focused on what is most important for gamers and enthusiasts. And at 19% IPC increase, it's our largest increase generation over generation since we launched the Zen family. So now let's see Zen 3 in action.
This is what we've been waiting for.
I'm so proud to show you for the very first time the AMD Ryzen 5000 series for high-performance PCs, the world's first Zen 3 powered CPU. This is the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X.
You might want to zoom in on that.
24 threads and a boost up to 4.8 gigahertz. It's a very special product, the ultimate enthusiast processor. Compared to the 3900 XT, the 5900X has 19% higher IPC, higher clock speeds, and all of the Zen 3 core improvements that Mark talked about, all while remaining at 105 watts. This makes Ryzen 5900X a big upgrade from 3rd gen Ryzen all around, but especially in gaming. Now let me turn it over to Robert Halleck to show you the 5900X in action.
Only 4.8 gigahertz. Bit disappointed.
Thanks, Lisa. Hey everyone, let me give you a sense of just how much faster the 5900X is compared to our current best, the 3900 XT. To do that, we're going to use Shadow of the Tomb Raider, a game I personally love, and a game reviewers often look at to judge CPU performance. We're going to run the built-in benchmark here at 1080p using the high image quality preset on 2 otherwise identical systems. You can see a whopping 28% increase just by moving from the 39XT to the 5900X in Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
That's quite impressive.
And as you will soon see, the performance from the 5900X is faster than the competing processors as well. Now, as any enthusiast knows, 28% from a processor change is a massive upgrade. But that's what AMD customers, like me, can look forward to. This truly demonstrates the gaming strength for Zen 3 when you combine the historic IPC uplift, unified cores, and unified cache pools. Now, as we zoom out to look at a wider set of games, you can see that the 28% uplift in Shadow of the Tomb Raider is joined by many titles with significant double-digit performance
CSGO,
improvements.
46%.
The gains are even bigger
Doge's
in
gonna love
titles
that.
like CSGO and League of Legends, where the highest possible frame rate is practically the #1 priority to be competitive. Overall, gamers upgrading from the Ryzen 3000 series to the Ryzen 5000 series can expect an average performance improvement of 26% at 1080p. Again, this is just a monumental performance jump for an in-socket upgrade in the same motherboard, and a true testament for how good Zen 3 is in gaming. Now, as many know, strong gaming performance relies on strong single-core performance. That's exactly what Zen 3 has. And I want to show you using Cinebench R20 single-thread. There are many ways to assess single-thread performance, but Cinebench is a fast and easy tool that you can run at home, and it's one of the 25 workloads that we used to calculate the 19% improvement for Zen 3's
This is going to be
instruction
interesting.
cycle. As you can see, the 5900X is the first desktop processor to ever break a 600 score. We don't break it by a little, we break it by a lot, with a score of 631. We at AMD heard you loud and clear as you challenged us to continue investing in single-core
Nearly 100
performance,
points faster
and
in
results
single core. That
speak for
is
themselves.
impressive.
The combination of IPC, frequency, cores, and cache give AMD the fastest cores in the desktop market and give you the best possible gaming performance. So let's take that landmark core performance into a head-to-head battle. Across the same set of games you just saw, the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is a clear winner at 1080p. As I promised you, AMD wins in Shadow of the Tomb Raider by +6, and is joined by many other games popular with reviewers and users like you. League of Legends and CSGO are once again standout victories for the Ryzen 9 5900X. So that was a lot of data very quickly. Let's take a step back. Let's recap.
Yeah.
You saw an average uplift of 26% for Ryzen customers upgrading from the 3000 series to the 5000 series. You just watched AMD deliver the highest single-core performance in the entire desktop PC market. And you just saw AMD clearly offer the best performance of any gaming processor on the market.
I like his
I will
haircut.
put it plainly. We know that you're going to wait for benchmarks.
And
but
shoes.
Customers who buy processors purely for their gaming performance will absolutely want a Ryzen 9 5900X for the best possible PC gaming experience. Now let's bring Lisa back up to give you more details on these awesome gaming processors.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robert. That was fantastic. I hope you're all now convinced that the Ryzen 9 5900X is the best gaming processor in the world. Now let's look at the stack.
Yes,
In
this
the
is the
5000
important bit.
series, we have a great choice for every gamer or PC enthusiast. In addition to the 5900X, we have the 5800X, an 8-core, 16-thread processor with boost frequencies up to 4.7 gigahertz at 105 watts. And we also have the 5600X, a 6-core, 12-thread CPU with boost frequencies up to 4.6 gigahertz at 65 watts. Now let's talk about price and availability.
4.6.
The 6-core 5600X is $299. The 8-core 5800X is $449. And the amazing 5900X, combining the leadership performance and power efficiency of Zen 3 in a 12-core 7nm design, is priced at $549. And all of these will be available globally on November 5th.
November
We're really
5th.
proud of the 5000 series, but you know we're not done. We love our enthusiasts, and there's one more processor in our stack, which is the ultimate processor for gaming and content creation. For those of you who want the very best processor in a desktop PC, we have the
5950X.
16-core Ryzen 9 5950X. The 5950X is simply an amazing CPU. 16 cores, 32 threads, and our fastest processor with boost frequencies up to 4.9 gigahertz.
$899.
The 5950X breaks the Cinebench R20 single-threaded record that Robert set just a few minutes ago with a score of 640. It is truly the best in class in every dimension. Best gaming performance meets best processor for content creation, and all of this still at 105 watts. Now let's take a look at some of the performance. If we look at the generational uplift from the 3950X to the 5950X, we see up to 27% more performance in CAD workloads and 12% more performance in rendering workloads. More impressively, we see up to 29% more gaming performance. And this is really how we bring the best of both worlds together. The best for gamers and the best for creators. And now, if you put 5950X against the top of the stack from the competition, we see that the 5950X provides up to 59% more creative performance in rendering workloads, double-digit wins in video editing and software compiling, and we also win in lightly threaded CAD workloads as well. We're really proud of the fact that we also win in gaming. There's nothing like the 5950X in the world. One processor that delivers the best power efficiency, our highest clock speeds, the highest single-core performance in the industry, and the highest multi-core performance of any gaming processor. And it's priced at $799 and will also be available globally on November 5th. I hope you're now as excited about AMD Ryzen 5000 series as I am. Zen 3 is really amazing, and I'm so happy we could show it to you today. But you guys send me a lot of notes and a lot of tweets, and I know that you're not just excited about Ryzen 5000 series, but there's a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and curiosity about our Radeon lineup as well. So the next few weeks are just an amazing time for us. In addition to introducing our Ryzen 5000 series, we're also going to introduce our next-gen Radeon GPU, and I want to give you a small preview of that today. This is the AMD Radeon RX 6000 series, which we now affectionately call Big Navi, thanks to many of you who nicknamed it for us. It is absolutely gorgeous and by far the most powerful gaming GPU we have ever built. We got a lot of requests from our fans on social, and I heard a whole conversation on The Full Nerd last week about wanting to see Zen 3 and Big Navi in action. So today, I'm going to show you a preview of what you can expect from AMD Ryzen 9 5900X and our Radeon 6000 series. We've been doing a tremendous amount of work optimizing gameplay with Ryzen 5000 and Radeon 6000 series. So let me show you today Borderlands 3, which is a very popular AAA title running at 4K resolution on the Ryzen 5900X and our Radeon 6000 series. Just take a look at that performance. Over 60 frames per second at 4K with beautiful image quality. We are super excited with what we've accomplished with Big Navi. In addition to Borderlands 3, here's a bit more of a performance preview on Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Gears of War 5 at ultra settings in 4K. And again, what you see is tremendous 4K performance across the board. We still have a few weeks until launch, and the team is working really hard on fine-tuning things. But I hope you're as excited as we are about what Ryzen 5000 series and Radeon 6000 series can do together for your next generation PC. So that brings us to the end. I hope you enjoyed today. It's been so much fun spending time with you. We have a lot more to show you later this month, so join us again on October 28th, where we'll give you the full story of our AMD Radeon RX 6000 series, and make sure you mark your calendar for November 5th to find Ryzen 5000 series on shelf worldwide. Take care and see you soon.
Thank you, Lisa and co. I'm liking the music. Cinebench demo. Oh, I want to see what specs it was. What's the next video going to be? Come on, YouTube. They're bound to put something else. Nope, we're not going to go with that. Oh, let's get those headphones off. Woo. Okay. So, lots and lots of information in there. I think pretty much
on the 5th. If you don't
know, I think we
just
pretty
in
much
case you
got
missed it.
what we were expecting there, really, didn't we?
Everything.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Do we want to do a recap? Do you want to switch this over, Adam?
In performance,
so stand by. If you're
26% or whatever it was.
We are going to sit here in our private little skybox where you can discuss all the news about Zen 3 as far and Radeon RX 6000 series.
Yeah, hold on.
Shut it. There we go. It's better. Sorry about that. Slight technical glitch hat.
Shall we ask what laptop you're using? Just to...
What laptop am I using? This is the Acer Aspire A515-43.
Do that in a video next time.
Okay, so yeah, background video. Sorry about that, people. Ugly Bob says, "Can you put that other bloke back on?" Lol.
Can we see your shoes now?
Yeah, you'll see my shoes now. Rocking Adidas. Just for Ugly Bob there. A little bit of shoe porn for you there. So, I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I got to be honest with you. I'm pleased. We've definitely got something to look forward to. Again, we really need to see the benchmarks and results and all of the individual testing. For them to say there's a 25% across the board, pretty much uptick. Pinch of salt, I guess, with that, really. Although saying that, going from a Ryzen 2000 series to a 3000 series, so if you're in a 2000 series now, and you went to a 5000 series, in theory, you should be getting almost close to maybe 40% increase in clock speed. Oh, well, not clock speed, but IPC for the same clock, which actually is pretty impressive. Almost as impressive as when we went from FX to the first Ryzens, which was like 50% or something. So I would, yeah, someone just said there, DS says the 3000 series will be dirt cheap. I think almost immediately now, most retail, well, we're Thursday now, I would estimate probably Monday they'll start getting rid of stock. I would be amazed if there wasn't a big price reduction, and probably I would say around about $10 to $20 off each CPU easily, sometimes more depending. Some of the processors, especially the higher end ones, the 3900X has always been round about the sort of £400 mark here in the UK. It's very rarely deviated from that on Amazon, which generally tends to be some of the better price for CPUs. So 3900X up to 5900X is going to be approximately £50 dearer to my kind of quick mental arithmetic, which actually makes it pretty darn attractive. When you're spending £400 on a CPU, an extra £50 isn't a lot. And to get 20% faster and paying less than 20% extra, that does seem like a very good proposition. Yeah, ClickTech Kev says they put the prices back up on the 3600 to drop them again, make it look like a bargain. Definitely, there is that. There is that to it. Some of the prices recently for AMD processors, we have seen them gradually creeping up and up and up. Again, like I said, the 3900X hasn't been victim to that, and it's pretty much stayed pretty stable because it's one of those processors which is out of the reach of most normal people, I think. Most of us in the kind of 3100, 3300, 3600 and 3700, those are the ones which have had quite a few deviations, the 3300X especially. That thing's gone absolutely crazy. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I really want to see those tested on normal, regular setups. Looking quickly at the setups they had there, it looked like very, very high-end motherboards as well, which with high-end motherboards, you are going to get pretty stellar performance anyway. So yes, very, very interesting. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Going back to our straw poll, we pretty much got what we expected. So 27% of you had voted and said you're expecting a similar range with similar prices. And yeah, I think we pretty much got that. The price was, I would say, arguably similar. I need to really look at the individual dollar prices, convert them back to UK pounds and then compare them with current prices, or at least MSRP prices, to really get a real grasp on that. But yeah, I think we've got a very similar range. The product segmentation would have been nice to have seen something a little bit lower down the range, but I think that is where the pricing is going to come into effect. So we've got a competitor for the 3600 with the 5600, still leaving the 3100 and the 3300X pretty much untouched. So if you are looking for a budget system, or relatively low end, or just a general word processing system, the 3100 and the 3300X are still going to be the go-to processors. If the 3300X drops down to a suitable price, maybe down to the £150 mark again, that is going to be very, very tempting again, and would make room for the 5600 at what we someone posted in the chat earlier. So 5600 price, what was it, $299? So that's going to be what, roughly about £200, give or take, maybe 220 depending on the exchange rate, maybe 250, because we do get shafted on prices here in the UK. So yeah, to go from 160 to 180 on the 3600 to the 5600 at maybe 200, 230 thereabouts, maybe more, you're not really getting a lot more for your money. 23% extra roughly in performance for probably 33% extra price. Maybe not quite such a good deal. So Seamanite is saying, yeah, the 3600X launched at 230, 240, so 15 to 20 pounds more isn't bad. And 10%. Roughly we're looking at £250 for the 6 core in the UK. So as far as launch prices are concerned, yeah, it's pretty much bang on. That is, yeah, 10% price hike, which, considering we're in COVID times, that is actually not too bad at all. 10% isn't a lot. If you go into a shop and ask for a 10% discount, it doesn't bring down the price a great deal. And equally, a 10% increase isn't a great deal either, especially when we're talking 100, 150, 200 pounds. It's not a lot of money. If you're talking about a car or a house, then yes, that is a lot of money. So yeah, I'm gutted there wasn't the lower end chips. I've got to be completely honest. I know that's always the case. They very rarely release the budget chips straight away. It would be a shame for them to be released after Christmas, but I think for AMD it makes a great deal of sense for them to do that. So yeah, and Big Navi looked nice. But until we see the real benchmarks and that kind of stuff again, it's exactly the same. Are we going to do it? Are we not? Let me know. For those of you that are in the chat at the moment and potentially looking at buying a processor or building a system at the moment, has this made you kind of rethink your entire strategy? For those of you that are maybe considering an Intel build, are you now kind of like, yeah, okay, definitely not going to go Intel now? I would be very interested to see what your thoughts are there. And we've got a super chat come in from the rather beautiful man, Ugly Bob. That's quite a opposing view there. If those of you that are new to the channel don't know what the hell's going on, the super chat button, when you place a super chat, gives a donation to the channel, and it sets off the RGB light just so I've got a bit of a recognition for you guys doing it, and also breaks things up a little bit. But thank you, Ugly Bob, for the £5 super chat. Much appreciate it. Now, actually, Angry Doge raises a interesting point, although it is a very tongue-in-cheek one, that the 1600 AF is better. It's, yeah. Depending what the retail prices are going to be over here in the UK, I am on the fence. I'm not as pleased as I was hoping I was going to be. I was hoping for them to be a little bit cheaper, if I'm completely honest. Yeah, the 5900, Skystalker says the 5900 looks like a great processor. We'll see what the availability is. The 5900 does look amazing for someone like me, a content creator who actually does generate a small amount of income, so you can offset the price of those kind of things against your business expenses and all that kind of stuff. The 5900X, or sorry, the 5900, I think is going to probably fly off the shelves. I can't see that being... if you're looking at a 3900 at the moment, and then looking at the 59, yeah, that is pretty much a no-brainer. And what about those crazy scores for Cinebench? Those are some awesome scores, and to now have that single-core performance, I think is gonna open that gap between Intel and AMD much wider than what it was. It's going to take Intel a lot to catch up. They've lost a lot of market share because of the well, basically their lack of ability to move to a new process node. they're on the same process node that they have been on for God knows how long, like 3 generations, 4 generations. AMD do seem to be slam dunking at the moment, and also we had a little bit of a confirmation there of the next version of Zen 4 on a 5nm process, which they didn't actually say whether that's going to be on the same socket. I guess it's early doors for that. And they didn't actually say specifically. They did say that the 5000 series was going to be an in-place upgrade, which I thought was a little bit misleading. Being that they said it's an AM4 in-place upgrade, they didn't say anything about specific sockets. So is it going to be only B550 and X570? Are there going to be BIOS updates for B450s? Is B350 going to get a look in, or A320s for those on a real budget? Some countries around the world still A320 boards outsell all the other boards by a massive margin. So I'll be interested to see what the in-place upgrade actually, what it means. It's that was a little bit misleading. Considering it's such a produced show, you'd have thought they'd have gone into more detail on that, but I suppose there's only so much they can fit in. Rick VSFX PC Hub says, I was also expecting the cheaper to be cheaper than the 3000. I was hoping it would be cheaper, because essentially they've got most of the stuff in place. So tooling wise and things like that, I guess is running off the same process almost. So there's not a massive amount of expenditure there. I know things like wafers are getting more and more expensive. Production costs around the world are going up because of obviously COVID, etc. It's, yeah. As is usual, I think those prices will dip very, very quickly. It really is quite commonplace for AMD processors from their launch prices. After the initial hype of maybe 2 to 3 months, they do tend to tail off. Being that it's going to be launching on November the 5th, realistically, I would expect to see some pretty decent discounts, probably by the January sales, depending on what the retail system goes like, COVID, etc., etc. Yeah, it could be an interesting time. Nathan Gamble says, I think it makes sense for AMD to raise prices now that they have the best gaming CPUs, but it does leave room for Intel to come back with Rocket Lake if the IPC gain is good and the clocks stay high. Yes, and also, yeah, why didn't she mention the 4000 APU release date? APUs, for some reason, don't seem to get the same amount of love that a lot of our viewers would give them. It just seems to be kind of like relegated. Even there's been like a 4700, some of the Ryzen Pro range, 4750, I think it is, 4650, which are available. You can get them. It's just you don't hear about them very much at all. They don't get a great deal of love at all. There was no big announcement, no big releases. It's just they just came out on the market and that was it. And Ricardo Yepes sent us 20,000 COP. He says that's about £4.03. Thanks for the stream, Mike and Kath. God bless you. Thank you, Ricardo, and thank you for your constant, unwavering support of the channel. We, both Kath and I, we genuinely do appreciate it. And that goes for all of you that stick around and watch me talking a little rubbish on the internet on a daily basis. Thank you.
Questions on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and Ricardo answering the questions in our YouTube comments, all that kind of stuff. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And another one's coming as well from Glenn, who's donated £4.20. Thank you, Glenn. Again, we appreciate you massively, and also all the work you do on our Discord. And that goes for everybody on our Discord. You're all a great bunch. Dave Burns says 420, haha.
Yeah, we love 420.
Yeah, 420. We love 420.
Yay, Daisy. 420.
I think oh no, it's not broken. Oh, my eyes are now.
So is there any X versions now?
Is there any X versions now? Oh, sorry. So is there only X versions now? Well, it does appear so. I'm not too sure. It's a really weird thing with AMD. Their marketing strategies are very odd. I would imagine they're going to be, the X processors will be the retail processors. I would imagine the OEMs will get hold of non-X versions. That is my interpretation of it. Previously, before, we generally got both, so we had the 1700 and the 1700X, but I think now, because there's going to be quite a few products in the stack, it does make sense for them to have a few less. British Noob was throwing in £5 as well, says thanks for the stream. British Noob, also, thank you very much. Appreciate everything you do. Thanks for the £5. It is awesome. It is not necessary, but it is very welcome. Thank you. And also, actually, quickly, I'll get a quick plug in. British Noob, it actually is kind of the moderator of one of our Discord rooms for our mental health awareness. So if any of you, I know this is supposed to be light and great and all that kind of cool stuff at the moment because it's an AMD launch, but there are a lot of people out there, especially in these COVID times, who are feeling down, depressed, desolate, don't know what to do, don't know what to say, just feeling really kind of not great. So if you do feel like that and you want to talk to someone, just get things off your chest, whatever, on our Discord we do have a dedicated area, both in text form and also voice chat. So if you want to chat to someone about mental health issues, please do come over. We don't judge people. All we do is we'll talk to you, we'll have a laugh, and then, yeah, give you a little bit of support. So sorry to get out there. Skystalker is also 10 Canadian dollars. Says, thanks for doing this, Mike and Kath. It was a great way to watch the stream. This is £5, 85 quid. Thank you so much. Thank you, Skystalker. Again, also massive contributions on our Discord chat as well. You guys are awesome.
Sent you £1.69.
Ugly Bob sent me £1.69 as well. Thank you, Ugly Bob. I'm trying to think of something witty to say in response to that. I genuinely am.
Never had a £1.69 from him.
Yeah, I've never. I don't know. I'm lost for words. I'm overwrought with ambivalence. I really am. Tactical Neep says Noob is an absolute legend. Yes, we agree. And Waldo's in the house as well. Yeah, no, mental health is a big thing. Yeah, British Noob says depressed Intel fans are more than welcome, and they certainly are. Aletta says everyone knows I'm crazy. Yeah, there's some people are happy and they're crazy. Some people are less happy and they're crazy, and they think they shouldn't be as crazy as they are. But we are a little bit crazy all in our own little way, aren't we? And ultimately, if you're into computer stuff and technology, you're a little bit on the fringe anyway for a lot of the mainstream. So yeah, don't feel alone. Don't feel neglected or upset or sad. Just come and talk to like-minded people who are also a little bit crazy and depressed. When will Ryzen 3 5000 series be coming? Don't know. We did mention that a little bit earlier. I would say realistically it's got to be very, very early 2021. I can't see them squeezing them out towards the tail end of the year. There's too much going on. If the demand for the new chips is going to be anything like I expect it to be, especially on the run up to Christmas, and also with them trying to get big Navi cards out the door, I can't really see them having a lot of room or a lot of capacity for the lower end chips. So I think the 3000 series are going to be a way off.
3000.
Sorry, the 5000. The Ryzen 3 5000 are going to be a long way off quite yet. I think that is pretty much it. I think we've pretty much covered everything here. We don't really have any more information. It would be really good to take all this information that we've got and compress it. I may well do a follow-up video to this, going through some of it and going through specs, comparison prices, etc. But ultimately, it's going to come down to, I think, most of us just buying a chip and trying them and see what they're like. I probably will be an early adopter. I might go with a 5600. The 5900 would make a lot of sense for me, especially for the video editing. For those of you that know me from the channel, quite often I moan about Adobe Premiere taking absolutely ages to do warp stabilization. AMD chips generally aren't particularly good at that because of the lower IPC on a single core, which that does, it is quite a core heavy thing. So maybe the new ones will give it a little bit of a boost, which would be really nice to see. Waldo.
Last comment.
I can't see the last comment. It's gone. Oh, it's gone.
When are you making the video on Microsoft Flight Simulator?
That is possibly a work in progress for later on this afternoon. Skystalker says, I will be an early adopter, but I am still worried about availability. Yeah, I think availability is going to be certainly a big thing. Yeah, Nathan Gamble actually brings up an interesting point there. Slightly surprised there was no mention of coolers or memory, Infinity Fabric, frequency, etc. and where these might not come with coolers. Well, traditionally the X series processors didn't originally come with coolers. It was always a thing like these are enthusiast parts. They come with separate coolers. Also, yeah, I totally agree that there wasn't really any real discussion about the Infinity Fabric or, yeah, frequencies, memory speeds. Being that we're seeing a lot of motherboards now with RAM speeds capable up to 5100 megahertz, and also manufacturers are making RAM of those speeds, really there needs to be a reason for it. There's no point producing RAM that fast if you can't use it, or if it doesn't make sense. So yes, it would be interesting to see what happens with that.
Does that mean anything Gary's put there?
Gary. Thanks, Gary. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, water cooling I think is probably, well, being the same TDP effectively, they shouldn't really generate a great deal more heat. We've gone 25% faster using 25% electricity, so in theory that should make this new range, they should be pretty much exactly the same to cool as their previous generation, give or take a few degrees. Ugly Bob says, any word on whether advance orders are going to be available? No, nothing at the moment. I don't think there is. Don't think there's anything now. I think it's very, very early. I would imagine next couple of days things will start settling out. Generally, it's a very odd thing because normally you release good things on a Monday so that it can be discussed about in the press all through the week. Bad things normally come out towards the tail end of the week. I am slightly concerned that they haven't mentioned anything about the Infinity Fabric or memory support, or like someone else said then about coolers. So maybe, although this has been one of those releases where they've paraded around the higher clock speed, put out some prices there, I don't think we've actually got enough information. But no doubt that will come in the following days, weeks, hours, etc. So I think that's going to pretty much wrap things up. Thank you all so much for joining us for the live stream and also the kind of pre-show and after chat. Thanks to those who have given us a super chat. All those kind of things are really, really helpful to the channel and really help keep myself and Kath motivated as we go through this process. I'm not sure if we've hit our 40k yet. Have we hit our 40k, Kath? Kath's going to have a quick look.
Hold on.
She's just refreshing the page.
Because YouTube, 4 more.
4 more subs to 40k. So hopefully we'll have our 40k celebratory stream on a Saturday. So if you want to join us on Saturday for the stream, please feel free to do so. And we'll discuss all of this stuff in a little bit more depth, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more information and see how things are going. Yeah, I think that is pretty much it. So again, thanks all for super chats. Thanks all for taking part. Before you head off, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe button if you haven't already, and all that kind of usual stuff. And keep an eye out for any bargains on Ryzen 3000 series. If you do find any, let us know in the Discord. We've got a room for bargains and discounts, so if you are looking for them yourself, then do drop by and say hello. So yeah, once I've said it a million times, I'll say it again. Thank you all for joining, and we will catch you in the next stream, which will be Saturday. Hopefully. Thanks for watching, guys.